and the service module.
I don't think we've got that totally worked out yet either, Marvin, but we're talking about a radial separation. The exact attitude, we haven't really got that in our plan yet. But
how do you see the water situation?
I think we're fat. We got 162 hours the last count I had, and that doesn't count our 20-pound contingency, so I don't think we have any concern at all about water at this point.
Has a decision been made about wearing the spacesuits during re-entry period?
No, it hasn't. We're still vacillating around on that one. There's some advantages to it. There's a lot of disadvantages, and we've got to do some more stirring around on that subject.
Mattingly wasn't seen around the control room last night during the burn. Does that have any significance?
You say he was or wasn't?
He was not seen.
Oh, he was not seen. Okay. Yeah. He's probably overworking on these procedures that we're simulating this morning.
What do you see as the most difficult steps on the separations preceding re-entry?
There's nothing really very difficult about any one of the procedures by themselves. They're all straightforward, and we know how to... I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you.
They're not difficult, but relatively difficult.
Well, no, I think the point I was making, maybe I didn't make it very well, is that the problem is one of integrating all of these procedures into a reasonable timeline where everything fits, gives the crew adequate time to do everything we have to do. It's not any one procedure by itself that is all that difficult. They're all fairly simple and straightforward, and we know how to do them. It's just the problem of trying to keep the LEM as long as possible. If we have to make a mid-course correction, of course, that, again, adds a little more into the timeline. The fact that we've got to be playing games with the power between the LEM and the CSM, these are the kinds of things that, it's not the procedures, it's the time it takes to do them and trying to fit them into a limited time span here.
An S4B tracking picture taken Monday night showed what appeared like an explosion in the vicinity of the Apollo. Does it have any bearing of your study of what happened?
I'm sorry, would you repeat that? Either my ears are bad or that mic is, I'm sure not getting these questions or everything.
S4B tracking people have taken a picture which showed what appeared to be a bright and increasing spot in the vicinity where the CSM was supposed to be at the time, and there was some speculation that it might have indicated an explosion on the SM.
On the S4B?
They were tracking the S4B, and suddenly in the same vicinity there appeared this bright spot.
I see. I hadn't heard about that. I frankly don't know anything about that.
Deke, I think that he's referring here to a photograph that was made here which shows a cloud around what our people think was the spacecraft in S4B that they speculate it might have been the venting of, at the time the accident occurred, of the oxygen. That's what he's referring to.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with that.
We have information on that over at the News Center if you come over after this is over with.
Slayton, nothing seems to be difficult, nothing seems to be of concern. Do you feel the situation has been over-dramatized from the moment of this fuel cells going offline?
I guess I haven't been paying much attention to people's interpretation of what's happening, so I can't answer that question. I would not underestimate our concern. We were damn concerned Monday night, no question about it. But we've got things well under control, have had now since the middle of the morning on Tuesday when things stabilized, and I don't think, sure, we'd like to get that thing back, because if things keep going the way they are, we're in beautiful shape and have been. But you can't discount the fact that something else might crap out on you before you get home, you know. So, no, I wouldn't want to minimize the fact that we were concerned. On the other hand, I'd also like to make it clear that as long as things kept going the way they were, once we got a handle on the incident, we weren't concerned about getting the crew home safely.
Is there any discussion about whether the command module hatch will fit okay into the tunnel, having been open this long and so forth? Is this part of the re-entry thoughts and so forth?
We may make a fit check on the thing if we have time, but we're not really very concerned about that, Art. That hatch has been very reliable. It's simple to install, and we think it's a very low probability that that thing won't work as designed.
Deke, again, you may have gone into this before I got here, but what is your latest report on the weather? And is there any possibility that the craft may be enough off course to hit this tropical storm that's running around out there?
The last report I had on the weather was no sweat. It's better than it's been, and it wasn't ever very bad. They've had airplanes flying through the area and haven't been able to find the so-called storm. And right now, it's apparently clear down there.
Duke, do you plan to transmit a new checklist once you do work out these rather complicated procedures?
Yes.
And this will be kind of the first time that they've had such a checklist, and everybody will be kind of, except for the Sims, will be doing it for the first time. And do you have any estimate of when the first of these procedures would start in Central Standard Time, or whatever time you want to name, and when they would end?
No, we're running. We want to run those things end to end on the simulator. We started that first thing this morning, and we're running right now. And we want to go through that full thing from one end to the other. I'm sure we'll run into some things that we don't like, and we'll want to change them and rerun those. So I cannot extrapolate an exact time when we would be able to read those up. But obviously, the sooner the better, within reason. If we can get them up to them this evening, why, we're in good shape. And I'm sure the crew's up there stirring around on their own, looking at a few things too.
Is that about it?
Any other questions?
I think that's about it.
Okay, thank you.